The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, their guests, callers, and advisors on Eye of the Nation are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Eye on the Nation is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Eye on the Nation is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2026. All rights are reserved.
Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to Eye on the Nation. I'm Leland Miller. And thank you so much for joining us. I've got to talk today about, I try not to come here every day and be upset, you know, but you people are upsetting. That's what I want to say about you all. And you practice being good at being as upsetting as possible, right? To the people in the little right-hand drive car, walk with me through this, man, because I mean you all. If you're going to get out of your car anyway to walk your big self to the ATM anyway, then why would you bring your big self on the drive-thru? That makes sense. It makes sense. Man, and please don't get me started with the woman before the woman, because let me help you. The endless amount of money on that bank account is the amount you put on there. This is not the BGCSE. This is not calculus. I can't explain what at an ATM could take about 6 minutes. I mean, it's literally the money you put on there. I don't know if you're trying to divide it by 5 or divide it by 10, because maybe you're trying to figure out which is the maximum number with a zero you could get. I'm not sure what you're doing, right? And so, as if it wasn't already bad that I sat on the line for 6 minutes waiting on the first car to pull off. Because only God knows what you could be doing on an express drive-through ATM machine line for 6 minutes. But then, I had to wait on the other Neanderthal who decides that after we've already waited 6 minutes in the car on the first person who was taking the BGCSE apparently, for her to then decide that she wants to come out of her car and just waltz around to the left-hand side of the vehicle to go use the... And you know, I don't want crime to happen to y'all, but like, I wish someone will wet y'all up with a cold bucket of water. I wish the next time you do that, someone runs straight up to you and take a 5-gallon bucket of ice water and wet you up. But, I mean, because explain it to me. Where is the logic? Where is the pragmatism? Mom, why would you expose yourself to armed robbery like that? And I suspect you do the same nonsense at night time. I don't suspect your behavior is any different when it is night. And then, when the crime happens to you, you know what you gotta ask? What the police doing? And when I tell you all it's time to ban these little Japanese cars, no one won't believe me. I've said it publicly before, I say it publicly again now. When Mr. Ingram made the decision to put these cars in these class that somehow made these Japanese cars the go-to vehicle, that was a horrible idea. And I said it as an Ingramite. They don't even fit the culture. I mean, the car is only 7 foot at best, maybe 6 foot. You can't, why are you even on the ATM? You know we don't have no right-hand side ATM. Why are you even in here? And you obviously have no difficulty with walking to the ATM machine, because here you are, walking to the ATM machine. You ain't think you could have just walked to the walk up one in the front of you? That was gonna kill you? You was gonna die if you had to do that. Ah, boy. Every day, as I live among Bahamians, I realize more and more the expression of the pixie puck in the Shakespeare poem Amid Summer Night's Dream. And oh, what fools these mortals be. Oh, what fools these mortals be, man. I mean, and she just sauntering, and she just sashaying. My grandmother would say she out there qualming. You just qualming your good-looking self in the, I mean, you don't care who behind you on this line. And you know what's the sad part? You probably even ain't got no FM radio in that car for me to case you. Because if I taught you how to FM radio, I would have said, may your windshield wiper never wake. And may on the days that it rain hard, your condenser stop cooling and all your glass fog up. That is what I wish for you.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At VTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levan Miller. And of course, before we get into it, please remember that with Canoe, Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home, enjoy faster payouts, process payments 24/7, and move money at your convenience. Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe. Explore Canoe's API and invoicing features, roll the teleprompter, to get paid locally and internationally. Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy. Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow. All right, so let's see what's happening in the news today. So, I see that the government is reviewing the impact of the newly slated tariff from America that recently took place. You know, I've done my own short bit of research about it, and there aren't like a significant amount of things that we import into America based on what it is I've seen. But the story says that the government, what does it say? The government says it is assessing the potential impact of a new 12.5% tariff on exports from the Bahamas and is engaging American officials following the decision by the United States Trade Representative to impose the measure over concerns about forced labor import prohibitions. In a statement, the Office of the Prime Minister said the government is aware of the announced tariff adjustment and is reviewing what it could mean for Bahamian exporters. The government is aware of the announced tariff adjustments and is reviewing its potential impact on Bahamian exporters, the statement said. We are engaging our United States counterparts to seek clarification and to ensure that the recent legislative measures taken by the Bahamas are fully considered. The Office of the Prime Minister added that the Bahamas values the long-standing economic relationship with the United States and will continue working constructively toward a fair resolution that protects Bahamian businesses and maintains the strong trade relationship between our countries. The response follows Thursday's announcement by U.S. Trade Representative Ambassador Jamieson Greer that the United States is imposing new tariffs on 60 economies under Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974. The action, directed by President Donald Trump, targets countries that the USTR says have failed to impose and effectively enforce prohibitions on the importation of goods produced by forced labor. Under the final determination, the Bahamas falls in this category of all other investigated economies and will face the 12.5% section of 301 tariff on exports to the United States. Greer said the move is intended to address what the U.S. considers both a human right issue and an unfair trade practice. President Trump recognizes that decades of moral, what is this word? Suasion have not eradicated forced labor from global supply chains, Greer said. The United States has had a forced labor import ban for nearly a century and rigorously enforces it. It's well past time for our trading partners to do the same. The USTR said that its decision followed investigations launched in March, 2 rounds of public hearing consultations with more than 45 governments, and the review of more than 2,100 public comments. According to the USTR, forced labor is work or service extracted from a person under the threat of a penalty and performed involuntarily. The agency argues that products made with forced labor create an unfair competitive advantage by lowering production costs and distorting international trade. The Bahamas has previously lobbied the USTR successfully on regional trade matters. Last year, Caribbean governments secured exemptions from the proposed U.S. port fee targeting Chinese-built vessels after coordinated advocacy. According to the Bahamas National Statistics Institute, imports to the United States totaled $110.9 million in the third quarter of 2025, up from $84.3 million during the same period in 2024. Total exports to all countries reached $128 million during the quarter, and a 19% increase year over year. Machinery and transport equipment manufactured goods classified chiefly by materials and food and live animals accounted for more than half of the country's exports. And I hear that. I mean, but it depends on what exactly are the things that they consider we are benefiting from this forced labor. I mean, we import everything, right? I know that we had the difficulty with the labor from the Cuban teachers. I think we kind of smoothed that over. I don't know if that is what America is still upset about. But when I consider a 2.5% increase on exports, maybe the professionals could help me. When I checked it in a basic ChatGPT search of dollar value, what exactly would that, where did my chat search go? What exactly would that amount to? I think it was something on the high end of about $2.7 million in some instances and as low as $0.5 million in some other instances. And I say, I mean, when you consider the trade-off, right? This is where I like to figure out the numbers, right? When you consider our benefit from whatever this thing is or whatever this labor, forced labor incentive is we benefit from as a country, is the dollar value greater or less than the 2.5% adjustment in the tariff? I mean, because after all, I think it's fine minerals, largely seafood products, and paper, I think I'm understanding, stamps and that sort of stuff that we export into America. I mean, the Bahamas is largely, 87% of our goods and services are all imported. So, I mean, how big of a deal is this? And is this something that affects our Caribbean counterparts in such a way that even if it affected us as the Bahamas, it doesn't put us in a worse standing because we're still able to compete ahead of all our regional counterparts? I'm not interested in countries pulling loaded guns on me. I'm sorry. And so you move your tariff, yay. But we interact and engage with Americans all the time who bring, like truckloads of money into the country all the time. And if we lose on the high end in some areas, $2.5 million and $0.5 million in other areas, I don't know if that's something to get all anxious about and, So I want to wait and watch and see. According to my checks, I see that it is being offered as a position that if it affects the economy, it's going to be a marginal effect. Well, a breakout of a virus could cause a marginal effect. I mean, who knows? An attack on our airport or one of our seaports could cause marginal effect. Anything could cause a marginal effect. And so, who knows? Let's wait and see. Because unlike our Caribbean counterparts, it really don't benefit America to be unkind to us. Because if I ain't making no money in my economy, then that mean I have to park my Defense Force boat because I ain't got no fuel. And if I ain't got no fuel for the boat, that mean Defense Force fellas can't go to sea. And you know that one bunch of cocaine they like to bring from down south? Guess what I can up? So dear Mr. President and the people who like to talk things about forced labor, man, try hard. Let me do what I just do so I can protect. Because you know, Mr. Pinland said it almost 35 years ago. You all can't stop it with the CIA, the NIA, the FBI, and any other kind of aid. Your best bet is to leave me fully functional. Because see, I ain't Jamaica them. This ain't Guyana. You ain't talking to St. Kitts and Nevis. Just how when you sneeze, we catch a cold, my brother, you let downstairs back up, and I bet your eyes will get cloudy. So dear America, while you're becoming great again, don't forget that if you can't dump the feces, my brother, I don't care what kind of shape you in, things about to get a bit rocky. So let's sit down and exercise some diplomacy, and let's stop pulling these little triggers on one another, because I ain't really sure if hurting me or harming me helps you. That's just where I am with it, right? We's cousins. And while I don't like my auntie, I have to like my cousin. Because she's my cousin, and there's nothing I can do with that. And my auntie is my mummy's sister. I don't have to tolerate her. And my mummy have to tolerate her. Come on, America. Oh, boy. Anyway, so I see that there was there is a flyer going around that made the public aware of the viewing of two of the ladies that were in the tragic accident just a few weeks ago. Of course, a few weeks ago we lost 5 people in a most tragic car accident, and we haven't stopped feeling the spin-off from that accident since. I'm advised that there is a funeral service held tomorrow at the Highway Churches of God for 2 of them in Kidd Island. And so we here at Eye on the Nation again extend our sympathies, and we offer our regards firstly to the family, and secondly to the people of Kidd Island, who we know must be grappling with this most difficult time. And so, of course, I see the mausoleum is completed. It's been decorated by mural, I think by homegrown talent on the island. And so now their place of rest is about to take the remains of these 2 very young and once promising people. And so we mourn with you. I note that there was some conversation about the bodies leaving Nassau sometime today at around 3. And so I suspect that if all goes well, by the time as we get to the 4:30 break or thereabout, the bodies should be in Kidd Island and on their way to wherever it is that they're going to be housed. I assume maybe the church, in preparation for the funeral. So for those of you that are here in Nassau that are related to Stania Webb, there is no more chance for viewing here in Nassau or Diamond Stubs. There is no more chance for viewing here in Nassau. That chance has passed. And so if you want to be a part of it, you know, you have to get on a plane to Kit Island and go and support your friends, family, and loved ones. And so, again, we're very sad that that had to happen in the way that that happened, particularly when you see people that have the kind of promise and the kind of just acumen that these young people had. And for it to end as tragically that it ended, particularly with that amount of brain power, you know what I mean? Like you just have so many thoughtful people perish at a time when the country could use thoughtful people. And so our prayers and our hopes are with them. They are in our hearts. And we want them, and their family actually, we want them to rest in peace, and we hope the families of these people find peace. Put that flyer up one more time for me, just to make sure that everybody saw it. So this is for Diamond Stubbs. What is her middle name? Winstonique? Diamond Winstonique Stubbs. And there was a viewing for her today. I think that would have been the final one in New Providence. For those people that wanted to go and see her before she leaves for Cat Island, as well as Tania, who is also on her way to Cat Island. All right, let's pivot a little bit. So I see Flamingo Air is furloughing its staff, and I tell people all the time, after the tragedy comes the reality. And the reality is that we can talk about grounding airplanes and doing this thing and doing that thing, but we have to consider how the loss of life is one thing, but the loss of livelihood is also, while not as catastrophic, cataclysmic, or life-altering, the loss of livelihood is something that is equally saddening and disheartening and uncomfortable. And so here's a story from the Flamingo Air employees that have been furloughed and the minister's acknowledgement of that happening.
Well, in other news, 35 Flamingo Air employees have been furloughed as the airline grapples with the fallout from the Independence Day plane crash that killed 10 people in North Andros. Labor Minister Pia Global-Roll reportedly confirmed that her ministry was notified of the furloughs yesterday. It comes as the beleaguered airline company's certificate was temporarily suspended after the July 10th crash, halting its commercial operations. Now, their employment with the airline hangs in limbo, given that it remains to be seen what will be the next course of action after the temporary suspension. This is a story we will continue to follow.
Yeah, and so the question now becomes, what happens to the ticket girls? What happens to the airplane mechanics? And there are some of them that I suspect have skills that will easily absorb into the market, to the aviation market, because, of course, we live in an archipelago. Aviation, small aviation in particular, isn't going to go anywhere. It is something that we have to accept and then try to make the necessary adjustments so that we perform it in a way that is most safe. I think, barring the tragedies that we've had over the years, arguably it is right to say that air transportation in the Bahamas still appears to be reasonably and generally a safe mode of transportation. And, you know, for whatever it is worth, there are people like me that have the anxieties. But again, I told you, I flew with Squeeze and I didn't feel no anxiety at all. He fly me so smooth I couldn't believe it. And he landed the plane. I mean, he landed a plane like how I used to land kite in Engliston. It was like a feather. But not everybody is Squeeze. And sometimes pilots, particularly the ones that put in a lot of air time, you know, they might decide that there's no need to do all of the everything all of the time. And when those things happen, sometimes they end tragically, right? And I live my life by the slogan that the difference between a tragedy and a very good story is typically the outcome, because they both have the same level of danger and miscalculation in them. And whenever you do not calculate the danger or the risk, sometimes it ends in tragedy. But I do think that those people, particularly those that live on those far-flung islands, whether those islands are Meguana or Auckland or Long Island or Crooked Island or somewhere down in the Exuma Keys or Ragged Island, you have to get on a plane. It won't be Bahamas Air. it also won't be Western Air. You do not have the luxury of choice. And when you don't have the luxury of choice, you have to use what is the available asset. And if the available asset is small plane aviation, then I put it to the government of the Bahamas, to Mr. Leon Lundy and the Han and Kimmer Brigade, that we've got to make sure that when people jump on a 5-seater, when people jump on a 9-seater, when people jump on a 13-seater, when people jump on a 19-seater, they feel just as safe as they would if they were on Bahamas Air. And I think the crash in Long Island proved to us that the plane being shiny and fancy don't mean that it can't crash, because that was a very fancy, shiny plane. So I don't want Bahamians to buy into the notion that because the plane looked like someone painted with house paint, it ain't safe. What do the mechanical records say? What do the pilot's certifications say? Who is the pilot and what is his capacity? We'll talk about some of that when we get back. I've got an aviation professional on the line. We'll get him on the next side of the break when we return.
Eye on the Nation will be back right after these messages.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173. Eye on the Nation.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
Okay, guys, this is what we doing today. We training for the bounce back. This 150K payday. Y'all ready? Yes. Y'all sweating today. Give me a 2 ball. 10. Give me another 2 ball. 15. You spin, right? It don't look so. It's 10K. Name these games after me. Food Dragon.
Food Dragon.
Cinema Classic.
Cinema Classic.
Yeah. Put that parlay in. Put that in. You know, Jalen Brunson disappointed us last time. You want to walk for this or you want to run for this? Good pace. Good pace. Not too much water. Put it down. Let's go.
It's the Bounce Back 150K payday. Big wins for 10 weeks straight. 15K every week. 10K to a lucky winner. Visit islandluck.com for more info. Island Luck. Winners live here.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levin Miller, and we're joined on the phone with again, aviation professional, somebody who has been in and around aviation for, I think, the better part of a decade, who comes from a line of people that have been in and around aviation for about maybe 3 decades. A prominent businessman and Kid Islander who is from an island that largely depends on small aviation, the maintenance of small aviation routes, and competency of the pilots that take them in and out of these airports, particularly in times when it is an emergency. And so, you know, I've heard many conversations surrounding the July 10th crash, and many people chastising and casting blame and, you know, basically claiming condemnation. But I actually did hear one lone voice in the wilderness crying out that we should just wait, and that we should wait on the findings, and that we shouldn't feel any anxiety, and that there is no way around small aviation, and that Bahamians do not want to live in a country where there isn't a civil aviation sector, because many of our economies would come to a screeching halt. And so, because I found that one voice in the wilderness going contrary to all of the anxiety in the community, I thought to find out from his mind why. And I thought to have him tell it to you right here on Eye on the Nation. And so, Mr. Ezra Russell, are you there?
I'm here, Levan.
Good to have you again.
Good day, Bahamas, and good day to this show, and good day to Levan, my friend.
Welcome to Eye on the Nation.
Yes, the voice for the people, right?
Yeah, we trying our very best. So there's no need for me to be introduced to you. But who exactly is Ezra Russell, just for the benefit of the people that are tuning in?
Well, I'm here from one of the most beautiful lands in the Bahamas, and a land where God lives, called Cat Island. I'm a businessman in Cat Island. All of my life I've worked hard. Been in the aviation business, the boat business, heavy equipment business, hotel, restaurant, gas station, car rental. So I'm an all-around fellow.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, let me just give you an insight of how these islands function.
Mm-hmm.
If it were not for these 5 and 7 and 9-seater aircrafts in our country connecting these islands to the city to do business, because everything that you do, you have to go to Nassau.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Right.
Every government agency is in Nassau. It just started to change in 2021, 2022, that you can get certain things done in the family islands.
Correct.
But it still cannot bridge the gap without of these small airlines. Now, let's get to the point what getting the whole Bahamas so antsy and everybody just talking that they don't know what they are saying, and they are just talking social media talk to get conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I told them, I said, listen, we have competent experts who work for civil aviation, who knows the job. Give them the opportunity to get back to the country and say exactly what happened to that plane crash.
Right.
Now, let's show you the regulation that this country have that is so serious. You know, you have to do a 50-hour, 100-hour, and an annual every year on these aircraft.
Okay.
You know, you cannot fly an aircraft with an engine older than 7 years.
Okay. And these are regulations in the civil aviation, the regulations as it stands.
Yes, no, we carries the same regulation. But you know, for the last 4 or 5 accidents happened in this country is not because of the airplane. It's pilots.
Right. And that's what a lot of people are saying, Mr. Russell, but that is what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying, you know, the decision-making of the pilots has led to this thing happening or that thing happening, et cetera, right? And, you know, I heard you basically saying, well, for as long as anything good exists in life, there will be bad. At some point, there will be some bad. But you don't want people to basically cast aside small aviation or civil aviation because you're saying that the Bahamas cannot survive without it.
It cannot survive without it, and everybody knows. Listen, every flight that is in that international airport, ask them where those pilots came from the last 25 to 30 years. They come from general aviation.
Okay.
The problem is, Lewan, is this. We have this young generation that comes out of school, and they get their pilot license. They didn't get no experience. They didn't come over to general aviation and fly with the veterans and let us teach them and show them and be pilot in command where they fly by themselves. They always fly in with two pilots.
Right.
Right? So if something happened, we at mercies with those big airlines too. Don't think that's why when you hear them crash in the States, everybody's dead.
Right.
In the Bahamas, our accident rate is very low.
Right.
It's very low per capita. For 100,000, you might get one accident every 3 or 4 years. In the United States, they get an accident every day.
Yeah. And they have different land makeup. So, you know, you have pilots that could put a bird down on a highway, or pilots that could put a bird down on an open street corner if it's wide enough. The Bahamian pilots, I understand, don't enjoy that luxury.
No, we don't. And we have to be pilot in command when we coming over oceans.
Right.
Because all of our land is connected between 30, 50, 40 miles, or 71 miles, 100 miles.
Right.
Be connected with ocean. But let me tell you something, Lewan. This country cannot survive without civil aviation. You hear me? It cannot, and it will not. Because we run scheduled flights.
Okay.
Okay? And when you run scheduled flights, not everybody is be able to catch them because people are busy.
Right.
And then some people want to travel with their friends and their families on their own flight. Now, it's so unfortunate that we had that accident. Now, I don't want to run ahead the inspectors because they are competent enough to bring the report to this nation. But I'll say this much. If that guy to take heed, everybody would have lived. If he'd have taken heed, because he was warned months ago, do not fly that plane that slow.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Russell, right? Okay. There is the issue or the challenge of hacking. I've pointed out several times on this show that, you know, Mr. Diagala had the challenge. Of course, you know, that led to the plane crash with the 5 persons on board coming out of Andros. We talked about hacking then. It was something that he claimed that the Minister administration was supposed to address then. Here we are 7 years later. It appears to be a hacking situation just from the preliminary assessments. I mean,
Levan, let me cut you off right there. What is hacking?
Well, people that I understand that are not taking a legitimate route in order to be able to get in an airplane.
Levan, okay, but let me lay a good foundation for you in this country. Here's the foundation. The same regulation civil aviation give to licensed companies, it's the same regulation private companies have to operate on. You cannot jump in an airplane in a multi-engine airplane if you are not multi-rated.
Correct.
If you're not instrumental and you're not commercial.
Right.
And you don't have no insurance.
Right.
All right? That's all require of an operational licensed company. You must have a mechanic to do your maintenance. You must log all of your flights. It's the same regulation for private individuals.
Yeah, but I think they say that this hacking culture, though, Mr. Russell, it leads to, you know, pilots making poor decisions, trying to chase the dollar. And so they, you know, they carry these planes sometimes at capacity. And sometimes they got an extra man on board that, you know, that ain't in an actual seat. And it's because of the hacking culture that, you know, Bahamians have become very accustomed to, and many of the small islands participate in. A lot of the people, you know, they look right past these things.
But Lewan, hear the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at all the accidents that happened in our country in the last 5 years. The majority of them is commercial airlines.
Okay.
Okay? So now, when you have a mishap in a small private airline, it's because you were doing a favor, or these fellas that you all call hackers, they out there and people need to get to a place.
Right.
And you come to me and you say, man, listen, Russell. So I say, pay for my fuel, all right? And I'll take you.
Mm-hmm.
All right? But what is hackers? I always ask people, you jumping in a $200,000, $300,000 airplane, you call that hacking?
Right.
Make it make sense to me. And let me tell you something. When we were flying in the 70s and in the early 80s and early 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had American-making parts for these airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those companies went out of business. So now you have airplane parts that's been made in India and in China. These things are not durable no more. Nothing that man made is durable. The only thing is durable is what God made.
Mm.
On every good situation, you will have a bad one. Nobody plans to go in the air to die. Nobody jumps in a plane and know that plane is not working and they can take off in it to kill themselves. Unless you crazy.
Well, you don't think that these hacking situations give leave for pilots to push the limits right to the limit, though?
You can't push the limit. Listen, I fly in and out of Cat Island all the time, me and my son.
Right.
All right, and Andres. There's a payload that every plane is required to carry.
Right.
Yes, sometimes if me and my son flying, we carrying grocery home or we carrying parts or anything, yes, we might be 200 pounds, but I ain't got nobody on board, just me and him.
Right.
All right? Sometimes I'm going home to Andres, you got people who want to go home. I don't put no more than what the plane asks to require.
Right.
Because why? If something happens, you have to be able to still fly that plane knowing that, listen, I got X amount of fuel on, I have X amount of pounds on, so this is what this plane will operate at.
Right.
So civil aviation is not for Bahamians to get afraid of. It's just make sure that we carry out the mandate and the regulation of our country. It's simple. So this is no big thing, just no longer than the day. Go look at it. There's a whole plane going down in I think Africa, or one of them. Killed 25. Crashed right into the mountain. The weather was bad.
So do you think then that because Bahamians have had such a long run of safe aviation, that when we have these moments of tragedy, it causes an unnecessary level of panic?
Yeah, it causes panic. But we have one of the most safest aviation laws, I think, out there. Those fellas up there don't play with you, you know, in civilization.
Right.
When you see them come down there, them niggas will snag you sometime for a little corrosion.
Right.
They do their job.
So,
now,
okay.
It's so unfortunate that this accident happened, and God bless the souls, and I hope that they find rest and peace with him.
Right.
But that could have been avoided. Sometimes people just listen. This young generation does not listen.
Okay. So tell me this, Mr. Russell, right? Let's just say I have a working plane, right? My working plane has a payload, as you've said.
Right.
The payload could be based on many things. You know, I mean, Mama might come, Mama weighed 280 pounds. I wasn't expecting Mama to be 280, but I still only got 9 people, right? I didn't put the fuel on, and under normal circumstances, if this was a commercial flight, they would have either tell Mama she can't go or I can't go. But this is a domestic flight, and I know this boy who fly in the plane, I raise him, I grow him up.
Right.
You know, I think these are the kinds of things that people are saying, the challenges with the small aviation kind of produces in a country like ours, where colloquially we say where the kiss go by favor, right? I can't put Tita off the plane. Tita is Mama, cousin, and Tita grow me up.
Okay.
Right? Do you think there is a way to police that a little better to ensure that when a pilot puts his 5-seater, 7-seater, 9-seater in there, in the culture that we live in, we are more certain that he isn't practicing unsafe measures just because?
Here's the regulation, and this is why you have insurance. Okay, and civil aviation do a good job to make sure that most airlines carries insurance, because we know we live in a small country and we are family netted, and then we have friends, and when you're in the aviation business, you do a lot of favors. Okay, now I understand. That pilot now needs to take responsibility for his actions, knowing that this plane only could carry 9 people with 300 pounds of luggage to operate and function if a crisis occur on board. You see? So the onus is on the pilot. They tell you that. Ain't got nothing to do with the regulations and the performance of the airplane. You, as a pilot, you went to school and they teach you this.
Right.
Because if you change a CG in an airplane, you automatically out of balance. So, society is fighting and crying. And then another thing, too. The government has to be very careful how they allow social media to determine how they govern. Social media has a power presence in the world now.
Right.
And politicians, because they want to stay in power, they turn their minds towards social media and let people dictate to them what should happen. Now, you're in trouble.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about that, Mr. Russell, because, I mean, I see, you know, if you look around, everyone appears to know the best 3 things we should have done last on this fatal crash day, right?
Yeah.
Everyone knows the 2 things the pilot do wrong, or what everybody has their assessment of what happened in the final moments, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm listening to you correctly, you basically saying that name any one of these big time people with the big time labels or that haven't experienced some sort of accident or malfunction and that these systems fail every now and again.
Yes.
Right?
Okay, let's look at a fellow like Randy Butler, who started all of this mess. All right? And TJ, the Blessed Aviation. Let me get to that. Randy Butler's son went away to flight school, come back, check out in the South. His flight to North Albuquerque. You know what happened? He broke a Saab wing off. Bounced that plane so high till he destroyed the plane. And Randy was in charge of accident then. You hear anything?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I have to check the news. I'd have to check the newsroom to verify the story. But again,
Levon, I will send you information so you can see it. ZNS talk about it.
But again, like I'm saying, so you're saying that I remember that there was any number of other airlines that either had to land emergency landings, etc. Right.
Look at that. Okay, look for instance. Early part of this year or last year, there was a flight coming in from I think from Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody had to land in Nassau. They had to put up everybody in the hotel. Remember that? Emergency?
Right.
Okay. You think they set out from New York to come here to the Bahamas thinking they had a problem?
No.
Okay. Man make these parts. So society have to understand. It's just like Nassau with those buses on the road. How many times people standing up in them buses when they're 6 foot?
Yeah.
Okay, now what if a big bus or big truck come in and run right into that bus and a couple of people get killed in that? What you gonna say?
Well, the driver got to take responsibility.
See what I'm talking about?
So your message to particularly smaller Bahamian economies is, don't follow the trend. Don't, all of this call for this thing and that thing in the aviation, that their economies will only suffer if, in fact, these small aviation companies go away.
Now, I can show you the danger now. Those people on Flamingo Air who he had hired, where are they today?
Furloughed.
Now, who you see talking about how these people can pay their bill?
Well, it's a developing story. I think the news of it broke today.
I ask you, how many people, Lewan, getting on the radio, getting on Facebook and on social media and say, let's come together because we got to take care of these people's bills this week?
I haven't heard any of that, actually.
Oh, but you see what I'm telling you? You see what society is doing to people? Now, you so concerned about the people who die in the plane crash. But you ain't concerned about the people now who are losing their job. Who could go crazy if the bank man knock on their door and their house goes. Or their children sick and they have to pay that cancer or diabetes or go on dialysis. How come we concerned about that?
I guess, people, they put these things in columns. The furlough, while it was expected, I suspect, it is something that is new. The minister says that she is aware, her ministry is going to get to it. And I take your point. I mean, what happens in the meantime while we are figuring it out, these people still have everyday lives to live.
Okay, but watch this though. But the minister of aviation, the minute that accident happened, she ground that plane.
Right.
Why she didn't put something in place the same time to make sure all these people who are hired by this company will be able to survive? See, that's what I'm talking about. We allow social media to dictate how we govern.
Yeah, or we certainly don't consider the whole problem because if the airplane grounded, the company ain't making no money. The people got to go home at some point.
Now look at the 4 or 5 places that airplane used to go. They had at least 4 to 5 people hired, and every one of them different from different shifts.
Right.
Weekend. All of these people have commitment because they had a good job for many years, so they rent to the bank.
Right.
Okay. Now, why are you looking at the debt? And this is why I tell society, be careful what we spew out our mouth without common sense. You want me to tell you why? Jesus said, I come that you may have life. He didn't leave it there. He said, and then you have it more abundantly. He said, but on the other hand, there is a fella who comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Be careful of those people who always cry and doom.
Right.
Close this one down. Something wrong with these planes. Watch the society. You ever hear social media talk anything good but anybody?
Well,
always doom.
Yeah.
But why we can't find a way where we can help the people now who lose their job? How many people calling in? And how fast is the government moving here? They can get to it. But when that plane crash, you shut it down.
Yeah.
So all the planes were body.
Certainly, you had to consider the people that was left behind. Mr. Russell, we're almost approaching the break. While I have you here, I do know that there is a funeral service planned for the island where you're from tomorrow. That's going to see 2 of the 5 people that died in the car accident funeralized and buried tomorrow. I just want to know, what is the mood like there on the island going into that? I know it is something that has...
Diwan, it's so sad. It's so sad that we lose 2 young lives.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, 5 and not 5, and the injured ones too. And the driver who will now suffer from this impact for the rest of his life.
The rest of his life.
God forbid that. But Lewan, here is the flip side. And this is why people don't like me, because I speak the truth. Where were all of this concern when these young people was living? Where were all of this concern, man?
Yeah.
You tell me you have to die for people to actually recognize that these young people were in Cat Island?
Yeah. Well, that's what Kevin McKenzie say. Kevin McKenzie say they don't know you till you're dead.
But guess what? It brings at least it brings some livelihood to Cat Island, because beyond rake and scrape regatta and funerals, Cat Island have nothing going on.
Yeah.
So at least it brings some economic boost to Cat Island. And right after this funeral, you have regatta. So the couple dollars, the people will make couple dollars from it. So they get is still valuable to Cat Island.
Yeah.
All right?
What is the loss of people as young and as bright as these people do? What does it mean for the development of Cat Island? Because, I mean, there's no telling what they would have become and how they would have contributed to Cat Island. And just to have people as intelligent and as promising as this, you know.
Quick, Levan, you're going to break. Levan, this is what I've been talking about for years. If we don't preserve a next generation, we ain't gonna have it.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes,
we
sir.
can't wait. We can't wait till something happens to be active. We have to be proactive.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Russell, I got to rest
Okay.
it there. That's the break. Thank you so much for joining us. I've been talking to Ezra Russell, a prominent Cat Island businessman. We've got more show on the next side of the break.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At VTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173, Eye on the Nation.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. Thank you so much for staying with us with the break. I'm Leland Miller. Yeah, the bodies of the two girls, I see somebody messaging me. I think I said it correctly when I said it earlier. They are in Kid Island now. Is that what I said? Yeah, they're in Kid Island now. I also see Squeeze took them. Captain Major, I think, might be the person that's flying that plane. This look like the same one they fly me in. Boy, he could fly to Cat Island? Man, I never had nobody fly me to Cat Island smooth like that in all my life. He fly me like grease in a tube. And so that is Squeeze Airline. That I think is a part of the small aviation planes around the Bahamas. He was a pretty decent captain, Captain Major. And so this is the father of Stanley, I guess going to meet the coffin that arrived in Kid Island earlier today. I couldn't even imagine having to like conceptualize this as a daddy. I certainly couldn't imagine having to build the final resting place with my hands as a daddy. It is what the English language would refer to as palpable, to have to experience this, you know, particularly in a day and time when many people would make you believe that absenteeism among black men in fatherhood is something that is proliferated, you know. I think this is a wonderful testimony that not all of them are lost, and that there are some black men that are out there that are doing the very best that they can, even in the tragic moments, to be present. But this is an unconscionable level of grief and sadness to experience as a parent. And so my heart, my prayer, my thoughts, my mind is with the people of Kid Island as they prepare to lay the deceased to rest tomorrow in Kid Island. The funeral service, I'm advised, should be at the Highway Churches of God. I suspect that the entire Kid Island community will show up and show their support. All right, so yesterday I talked about the missing man, Mr. Cartwright, from CBS, which I admit, yesterday I said I found it quite irregular that his job was looking for him. Because, you know, I was in the military, and even if you go missing in the military don't issue a missing person statement. I couldn't imagine that he meant this much to his employer. It was abnormal to me. But obviously, the employer felt strongly enough to issue their own be on the lookout for, and regrettably, it has ended tragically. Here's the story.
Police are currently investigating a suspicious death in the area of Hasio Point Close, just off Bethel Avenue. At approximately 7:30 p.m., Police Control Room received information that persons in this community found a male hanging from trees. As a result, officers from the Grove Police Station responded swiftly, and they met a male, partially decomposed, wearing dark-colored clothing, hanging from a tree with a black rope around his neck. As this matter is currently being investigated, an autopsy needs to be done so we can determine the exact cause of death.
What about identification of the victim?
From what we see so far, the male appears to be in his late 20s, his mid-20s. However, we can't confirm his identity until we actually have an official identification by the family at this time. I just want to make a plea to members of the public. If you know a family member is going through something, please reach out. If you are feeling that way, suicidal thoughts, we ask that you reach out to the Bahamas Crisis Center at 322-2763 or Sandlands for someone to talk to.
We do notice that a stench was coming from those bushes. Can that indicate that this body might have been here for a few days?
As I stated earlier, we can't say how long the body's been, but the body is partially decomposed at this time now.
Is there any indication that he was a resident of this area?
From the preliminary reports and individuals on scene, they said that he resides in this area. But again, we can't confirm that until the official identification has taken place.
Were there any additional wounds to the body?
Again, the body is partially decomposed, so we can't say it at this time.
And just to clarify this. I know you said that you cannot give an identity at this time, but there are rumors circulating that this was the missing person that formerly worked at CBS.
The rumors are there. However, I cannot confirm until an official identification because I don't want to give the family hope or disbelief of what's happening at this time.
Sarge, you try hard. Sarge, the Royal Bahamas Police Force does not exist to address rumors. We are aware of what is out there, and once the investigation unfolds, a press statement will follow. A press statement will follow could get you to any question. We ain't want to say because we ain't want the family start to feel like, this the guy, and then we find out this ain't the guy. I ain't really sure if that part should have been in there. But notwithstanding, so regrettably, Mr. Cartwright has met his demise. I see that there has been a following statement from his employers, which again is, I feel so warm. Like I just can't imagine that someone in an employee means this much to a company, that the company has taken this loss so strongly. And so I want to commend them for their act of sympathy and empathy and kindness towards the family of their employee. Put the press statement up. Let me see if I can read it. And so the press statement reads, we at the Commonwealth Building Supplies Limited are deeply saddened by the tragic passing of our colleague, Antonio. Our heartfelt condolences and prayers are with his family, loved ones, and everyone affected by this loss. Although Antonio had only recently joined the CBS Bahamas family, he quickly made a positive impression. Many of our customers would have recognized Antonio from our paint center, where he played an integral role in providing expert help and service to our shoppers. He was a pleasure to work with and was most recently recognized as our Employee of the Quarter. Over the past few days, we've worked alongside his family to assist in the search efforts by distributing flyers, sharing information, and our social media platforms, and checking in with local businesses along his usual route home, in hopes of finding any information that could assist us in the search. We would like to sincerely thank everyone who shared our posts and offered their prayers and well wishes. Your support is greatly appreciated by our team. We would also like to thank our staff for their dedication over the past few days in assisting with the search efforts and lending their support to the family in various ways. Our thoughts remain with his family during this incredibly difficult time as they grieve this profound loss. And it's signed by Mr. Brent J. Burrows. Again, I am so moved by this. This is certainly a trend-setting effort or exercise by CBS, and because my mind works the way it works, I only wonder if someone in the employ recognized something and maybe didn't say something early enough, because just the level of sheer concern over staff who hadn't even had anything negatively reported. Again, it is certainly unorthodox for what I know to be the norm, but I do commend them, and I'm hopeful that that if there were more they could do, or if they did do something, that was all they could do. And I want to again commend them for assisting the family in trying to locate him, because that is absolutely commendable. All right, the mother suspects that someone murdered her son, and here's her plea.
Topping news tonight, a grieving mother in Exuma is demanding a transparent and thorough investigation as she believes her son was murdered hours after he allegedly used his ankle monitoring device to cry out for help. Arlington Ritchie Jr. leads us off in tonight's top story.
I believe somebody killed him because they find him face down, say in the little muddy part of the water, like they could either push his head in the water until he die or whatever. They kill him, man.
On Tuesday, 23-year-old Andrew Sayers Jr. called out for help through his electronic monitoring device, reportedly in fear for his life. But on Wednesday, police say his body was found in shallow waters near a key on Exuma. His mother, Lisa Rolls, says it's a mystery she's now on the hunt to solve, revealing exclusively to Eyewitness News she believes his death was no mistake, but rather a murder. Tonight, she shares her son's final run to safety.
He told them on the monitor somebody trying to kill him. He went in the house and he said, he was yucking on the door. He said somebody trying to kill me. Somebody trying to kill me. They behind me.
The grieving mother alleges that soon after Sayers Jr. left the home thinking he was in the clear, the chase continued, which reportedly led him to the home of another relative.
He said, y'all hide me. Somebody's after me, trying to kill me, hide me. The little girl got on the phone and called her mommy and tell her mommy, say, AJ out there, say somebody trying to kill him, they must hide him. So told her not to open the door, which is right because she's a young girl and AJ 23 and you don't want nothing to happen to your children.
What happened to Sayers Jr. after that remains a mystery. A day later, police say new information led investigators to launch an extensive search involving drones and canine units. It ended with the discovery of a body with minor abrasions to his hands and legs. Now, Rose says she cannot help but wonder whether her son would still be alive had she fought harder to keep him from returning to Exuma following a physical altercation that resulted in him being placed before the courts and fitted with an EMD despite it being his first offense. She claims her son was fearful of two men allegedly from a hangout spot he frequents.
That's why he reached out to the police because his life was in danger. I say, boy, don't go back yet. I say, stay for here a little while until the case come back up. Or I said, you could stay here for another week or so. But he was saying he ready to go.
Left with just memories, Rose says justice must prevail.
My son was a loving boy, very happy. He said, Mommy, I have a happy spirit. I want a closure. I want to know that my son, I want him rest in peace.
Officials say an autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Such a sad story. I mean, you don't expect these kind of things coming out of a place like Exuma. I mean, the only thing that you think about when you go onto these small family islands is, at the worst, maybe sunburn. You don't think about murder and crimes happening to people. And of course, we have to wait on the autopsy, I mean, to determine what exactly was the cause of death. But I trust that the police force is up to the task. I know that the commissioner of police is up to the task. And if in fact there is some foul play, or if in fact there was something irregular, or if in fact there was something unusual that took place, I believe that justice, it always prevails. That is primarily what I found out about the wheels of justice. It is a very long, very grueling journey, but justice, it always prevails. And so my prayers, our prayers, and thoughts are with the family of the deceased. And I suspect also that having the ankle monitor may in fact assist the investigators in bringing the justice that the mother so anxiously awaits. It's never easy when you cannot rest because of uncertainty, of not knowing, of not being sure who is to blame for the pain that you feel. And so, again, as a parent, I can't imagine having to go through having a healthy, living, breathing child who was healthy and living and breathing to planning a funeral now for my healthy, living, breathing child that had absolutely nothing wrong with him just days earlier. And so I hope the investigation moves on quickly and that some questions are able to be answered, and hopefully some of them are answered as soon as the autopsy gets completed. I want to take this opportunity, though, to shout out a woman that I met today, Barbara Rogers. Barbara Rogers, I love you just as much as the beach have sand. I want to say that to you. And so if anybody tells you that they don't know how much I love you, you tell them. Because you told me that you are one of the women them. And because you are one of the women them, my love for you shall never die. If you thought Smokey did love Laura, Barbara, Smokey can't shake a stick in the same room as me. And so I want to make sure that I say that. And then to little Darren Larimore. You know, this is the reason I actually enjoy doing this. I ran into little Darren today who said, Mr. Miller, I am, what did he say, 10 or 11, and I watch you every single day, and I never miss you. And I don't care what's happening when you come on at 4 o'clock, I am always sitting at home watching you. I'm so excited to meet you. I was so excited to meet little Darren because nobody never been that excited to meet me from my born. But Darren, he finished at the LJM today, who did a summer program, and they got to experience life in the maritime industry, etc., etc. The LJM, in collaboration with the Disney, put on the summer program for students. I think it was 20 of them. My son was among the cohort, and that is where I met little Darren. So Darren Larimore, I hope you're sitting down next to the TV. Darren, mommy, call Darren and tell him I shouting him out on the TV. Little Darren Larimore, you were the second favorite person that I met today because you were only second to Barbara Rogers, who, by the way, sent a very scathing message to Francesca, wherever you are. Barbara say to tell you, you don't make her have to come walk to the station for you. And Barbara look at them kind of woman who, when they come walking, you know how Bahamian women is come walking? Oh boy. And so to Barbara and to Darren, thank you so much for meeting me or meeting you all today. It was the highlight of my day, certainly. And this is a shout out for Miss Sawyer. Miss Sawyer at the passport office, who so ably assisted in the passport office with getting a passport. Apparently, I hear you need a warlock's hair, 2 baby goats, blood from a virgin from the inner city. You need, what else do you need? The back tooth of a shark, and some salt water from a blue hole in Long Island in order to qualify for a passport around here. And so, after 3 very long and very excruciating weeks, finally, the Lord has sent Miss Sawyer, and we are so happy for her. So, the Miss Sawyer, when they're giving out these national awards, I could tell Fred, make sure, because you know Fred has made the list with 580 people on it. It ain't no way they could miss you. You deserve something for this big time operation you're pulling off over here at the passport office. Let me tell you how I know the passport office was getting big and serious, right? Michael Pintard got everybody anxious now. So I had a situation at the passport office, and I called the biggest gun I got, who very quickly advised me that, my friend, tell your people, go stand on the line. The thing's over by the passport office. Let's don't fool with that. Me and you could be on the news. So I had to call my people back and tell them, cheapest you put on your comfortable shoes and go stand on that line. Because boy, if he can't help us, we can't get no help. And so, yeah, that's what Michael Pintard them cost by the passport office. Anyway, a man sentenced to 15 years for attempted murder of his girlfriend on the Bahama property. I remember this story. This was the boy that did the stabbing up, the jacking up boy. Apparently he was sentenced today to 15 years. You see that? You know where you were going? You could guess where you going? Mr. Jacking Upper? You were on your way to the calaboose. That is where you were headed. Because you first off shouldn't have been jacking up people. You second of all shouldn't have been jacking up no woman. And the best place you could find to jack people up is Bahama. You had to know we wasn't gonna let you get away with that. Bahama have camera on every inch of it, my friend. How you thought you was gonna get away with this? What could she have possibly done that could have boiled you up? I mean, you was sudsing like a crab. And now you know where you're going for a very, very, very long time? Jail. Yeah? Commissioner Clare, we got one. He coming for you. I want you all to put him in the fast bus. Because, I mean, oh boy. So let me see if I can find the newspaper story so I can make you all recall the story. Because some of you aren't like me who just recalls the news. Which one of these is the story? Can we put it up? Do you have the story to put up? Okay. So the story reads, a man who tried to kill his ex-girlfriend while she was at work was yesterday sentenced to 15 years in prison. Leslie Ferguson, 35, trespassed on the property of Bahama Grand Hyatt on November 4, 2024, before tracking down his victim and stopping her multiple times in the back. Ferguson pleaded guilty to attempted murder and received the sentence as a part of a plea deal when he appeared before Justice Renee McKay. He will receive credit for the time spent on remand. The court heard that Ferguson gave a security officer a false name and claimed that he was a new hire at the sugar factory. He was denied entry, and the security officer called the establishment. Undeterred, you had blood in your eye. You sound like you walk here. Undeterred, Ferguson accessed the property through another entrance 15 minutes later at 7:55. He asked another employee for directions to the housekeeping department. He told her, "I have an interview and I'm late." After being shown the way, Ferguson attacked his ex-girlfriend with a knife as she sat in the briefing area. Police officers arrested Ferguson, who was detained by the resort's security officers. When questioned about the incident, Ferguson replied, "I black out. I don't know. I catch her again." Betty Wilson and Davinia Pinder were the prosecutors. C.G. Smith-Curry represented Ferguson. Well, you know where you could do one bunch of blacking out soon directly? I hope, Commish, could we put him, because this boy struck up people. Could we put him in the maximum security? Because this sounds like maximum security kind of crime. You go have one bunch of blacking out when you reach, my friend. Commish, let's put him in the maximum security and let's see what has happened when he black out in there sometimes. Because you black out, you going through all this to jack up this woman, this poor woman. Fergie, you are on your way to the calaboose. I'm very excited about that. That makes me very happy. And if it takes a plea deal to get you, I don't care. As long as you are undoubtedly headed to the calaboose. And I feel good about it. It's a great day for justice. This could be the last woman you jack up. When you come out of jail, you could be, what, 50? When you come out of jail, you should be so tired at 50, you should never, ever want to jack anything ever again in life. I want him to put you like on the hard working side. Like let him, come on, you think we can get him to like grow the potatoes for us? I want you to go to where they have to do hard labor or make the license plate. They still making the license plate down there? Yeah, I want you to go to the license plate making part, where you just work all day. I don't want you to have like the fun things to do and part with the peace and basketball and things like that. Not you, Fergie. Calaboose. That is where I want you to go. All right, so Fergie is going to jail. And Fergie break on these people, bro. Fergie, well, you ain't had no job, eh? The security, this poor security, this whole security tell you, no. That wasn't enough. You go on the next way. And come round. Because you have to jack somebody up today. And this woman sitting here, she hakikiing, they in briefing. You can imagine the trauma. Fergie, we really could give you 10 more years for this. You lied to the security. Fergie, now that I'm thinking about this, I think you get away a little bit. Fergie, you lied to the security. You lied to the housekeeping people. And then you interrupt these people meeting and jack up this woman, Fergie. And all these people now traumatized because you feel like jacking up. Man, we couldn't get one extra 5 for this say. We have to give him a little something for the trespassing. And then we have to give him a little something for illegal possession of a weapon, eh? We could give him a little something, but we got to attack one little 5 more years on this. But I'll take the 15, and I hope you go there and do something crazy so we could give you another 2 at some point. Talk to your cousin, the other Fergie. Find out from him how you scare a little extra jail time while you're in jail. Because we want you staying there for a little bit with your jucking up self. All right? All right. So, also today, I've got to send this shout out. I understand that today, don't mind these people from Sack Talk and Big Talk, when you run into somebody from Prince William High, my friend, or particularly if they went there under the auspices of Charles W. Sanders, your life will never be the same again. I say that unapologetically. And so, to one of the few Sackers that are on my list of Sackers that I am prepared to tolerate, Bishop Arnold Josie, I want to say a special happy 45th wedding anniversary And that is to him and his wonderful, darling wife, Elder Dr. Vanita Josie, who has obviously transformed the bishop's life. I mean, could you imagine, had he not run into Vanita? I mean, he turned into a whole bishop and all. Wow. Like the power of Princeville alums, eh? Isn't it something? So, Bishop and Dr. Josie, congratulations on 45 years. And I hope that you have at least 40 more years left to go. All right? And of course, you know, that union is responsible for Devonia Williams and Arnold Josie and Alvin Josie. You know. All right, that's the jingle. Let me go on to the break. When I get back, I want you all to please give me a call, right? If you have some well wishes and best regards and prayers and that sort of stuff for the family of the fallen that will begin the funeralization tomorrow in Kid Island. I'm prepared to do that today on the show, but the line will be open when we get back.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building a network as resilient as you, with a team of familiar faces working every day to keep you on beat. You are at the heart of everything we do. Our commitment is to keep your vibes flowing, no matter what.
Bring your brand into focus and make your impact on the nation. Go all in with the Impact Bundle, featuring live liners and an in-studio interview. Prefer targeted reach? Audio plus digital delivers radio and digital placements. Or be seen with our television bundle with 20 TV ads across broadcast and streaming. Call 4-666-173, Eye on the Nation.
My name is Charles Wesley Gould. My organic farm is Nice Layers Organic Farm. I have 230 birds up here. I give them fresh water, pumpkin, lettuce, cabbages, all the vegetables. Anything what I eat, they eat. Right now, we sell the eggs for $7 a dozen from Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, you can get 4 dozen eggs for $21. I'll be located on Jamaica Road, the western side, Silverstone Primary School.
Imagine an event where entry is as effortless as a wristband scan. Calling all businesses and event organizers because selling tickets has never been smoother. With Canoe, effortlessly sell tickets online and accept payments via debit cards, credit cards, Canoe Wallet, or even Sand Dollars. From payment links to QR codes, track your sales digitally, making event organization a phenomenal experience. And that's not all. Canoe is giving you more. If you're offering food, drinks, or must-have merchandise at your event, Canoe takes it to the next level. Customers can seamlessly pay using wristbands, QR codes, or their Canoe digital wallet. No more long lines, no more waits. Just happy customers and a boost in sales. With Canoe, your event becomes a breeze. Cashless, worry-free, and simply unforgettable.
Welcome back to Eye on the Nation.
Hello, welcome back to Eye on the Nation. I'm Levan Miller. And of course, don't forget, with Canoe, Bahamian businesses can access their funds right at home. Enjoy faster payouts, process payments 24/7, and move money at your convenience. Bahamian business owners can accept payments online with Canoe. Explore Canoe's API and invoicing features to get paid locally and internationally. Canoe is a Bahamian fintech helping local merchants accept payments fast and easy. Canoe empowers entrepreneurs to get paid quickly and to grow. All right, so the phone lines are open, 323-777-569-80775. A special shout out goes out to Bishop Delton and Minister Calpurnia Fernanda on the 27th anniversary. And that is coming in from all their well wishes and the people who love them. 27 years of marriage. You know, if I start today, I'm 40, yeah, I could probably do 27. But I like round numbers. So maybe I'll wait till I'm 43. That way if I do 27, see, because I need something to inspire me to live, right? So if I wait till 43 and I get married, and then I be married for 27, 43 and 7 is 50. Yeah, and then 20 is 70. That'd be right around the, because you know I won't be a widower at some point. That'd be right around the time that I could start looking at her every morning to make sure she's still with me. And then one day when the Lord called her home, I get to be a widower, and then at 80, the Lord will call me home, right? Yeah. Ah, boy. Anyway, happy 49th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary, Bishop. I do not want you to be a widower. That's just what I want. But happy anniversary, Bishop Delton and Calpurnia Fernanda. And then, of course, 49th anniversary, wedding anniversary to David and Catherine Benaby. And that is coming in from, I guess, the people that love you as well. All right, 323-777-569-80775. There was one interesting story that I saw circulating around. Hopefully we can get to it. The woman had to call Help Me Howard because the people tried to charge her too much money for the things in the fridge. Hello, caller. Hey.
You all right?
I feel good.
Good. I want you to permit me to say happy birthday to two persons, please.
Okay, go ahead.
I want to send happy birthday to Pastor Doretta Bethel and to my grandson, Benjamin Sanders, who's coming from Evangelist Ethel Rose.
Okay, Evangelist.
Love you all. Thank you, Lehman.
No problem, Evangelist. Good to hear from you. That's Evangelist Ethel. Oh, praise the Lord. 323-777-5. Let's go to the woman. Apparently, this woman go on to the hotel. The hotel must say she got plenty of money, man. We could just chinch this little bill on her. So they changed the little bill on her, and she say, what? Oh, no. So she write them a little letter, they reply, and then she go on and write a letter, believe it or not, to Help Me Howard. Here's the story.
Tammy Morley was all smiles when she visited Miami for the best of the best, a reggae concert in Bayfront Park.
You will get your chairs, your umbrella, and you're out there just watching the artists on the stage.
Tammy and two friends flew in from the Bahamas. They chose a hotel close by so they could walk to the festival.
So we can get to and from our events without having to drive and worry about parking.
The concert was a blast, and they spent hours in the park listening to music.
It ended like 11. Shortly after 11, we walked back to the hotel. It was fantastic.
A couple of days later, they checked out of their hotel and headed home.
That receipt, but about 2 days later, 2 or 3 days later, I get an invoice.
For $626.59, Tammy had been charged for every single item in the hotel minibar.
But I didn't use the minibar. They didn't take any item out of the minibar because who does that?
She was even charged for the snacks.
Then they have fruit bites, potato chips, plantains.
And oddly enough, according to her receipt, everything had been removed at the same time. 7:24 p.m.
We went and we hugged everything in the refrigerator and brought it out.
Tammy says she would never pay minibar prices, much less empty the fridge.
Who purchases from the minibar when you go to the hotel? I'm sorry, I'm from the Bahamas. We know that those things are ridiculously priced.
She tried to handle it herself, but was getting nowhere.
I was angry. I felt helpless. I was livid.
And then her friend had an idea.
She said, no, Tammy. Call Help Me Out. Write Help Me Howard. And that's what I did.
Howard, it might be a mini bar, but that's a full-sized bill.
The law requires that the hotel must prove she took the items. In most cases, they only have circumstantial evidence to work with. It's your room, you did it. Well, maybe somebody else took the items. Maybe it's a mix-up. But Tammy says it wasn't her. Now she just has to convince the hotel, and if she can't convince them, she can contest the charges with her credit card company.
We emailed Tammy's hotel, who told us after a thorough review, we have issued a full refund of the $626.59 minibar charge. Tammy was thrilled.
I was elated and just so grateful and thankful.
The hotel also offered Tammy a free night stay, which she can use for next year's concert.
I'm realizing that Help Me Howard is as real can be, and I'm just so grateful that I called Help Me Howard to help me out of this mess.
Yeah, Tommy, come take this free room night stay so next year we can charge you for the tower limb. Y'all gotta be joking with me. My brother, just give me my money. Let me walk backwards out of here before y'all upset me about free night stay. You mean y'all who just take the people money off the people's bank account? I'm not coming back here. And nobody like none of these. They don't even have nothing in the fridge no one like. So, man, next time, try that with someone who ain't a Bahamian. Tommy, here's what all your Bahamian cousins want from you. When you get a little chance, call the hotel name for us, yeah? Inbox it so we could... Because I can tell you one thing. If you tell us, we can prove to them just how much money Bahamians is bringing that little hotel they got there. Because this is probably one of them hotels we only stay to because we didn't feel like staying by the Airbnb with the rest of our cousins anyway. And this trip was only supposed to be for one day. So, Tommy, help us out. Help me, Tommy, by telling the Bahamas exactly which hotel, and you don't fool with them. You don't bother with that. You don't need a hotel room that bad. We got a hotel room right here in the Bahamas. I don't know what they take us for. All right, 3237. Tommy said the people say come back next year now. We ain't finished. The comedy. Hello, caller.
Hello, good afternoon, D-Man.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. I'd like to give a birthday shout out.
Okay, we on a roll with these today.
I happy belated birthday to my beautiful wife. Her birthday was yesterday.
Okay.
Her name is Mrs. Tanya Griffin.
Okay, Tanya Griffin.
Happy birthday, baby. I love you.
Tanya, he just wants you to know, girl, that you are the apple of his eyes, and happy birthday. All right, 323-777-5698-0775. Again, let me say the number, 323-7775. 698-0775. And if anyone of y'all know anybody with I am trying to find me a nice Hyundai H100, like the quad cab. Yeah, I want one of them. I'm looking for one. I need one. I want to rent it. I won't buy one. So if you got one that you ain't and wake to death, give me a little call. And I don't know about that. Especially if you fool with them Canadians. They ain't gonna ever give you your money back. I don't know about that. Yeah, but I'm looking for one of them. So if you know someone with a decent Hyundai H100 that they ain't kill, let me know. Drop something in the comments or something in one of our chat groups somewhere. Because, I can advertise the things I need to. 323-777-5698-0775. I'd also not mind like one of the Kia ones as well, if it kind of ever new. Because I don't really like Korean vehicles, but, I'll take a new anything. Hello, caller. No? 323-777-5698-0775. Let me see if I can go to the comments and see who is with us today. Y'all gotta forgive me over there on Facebook and YouTube, right? I'm trying to get to y'all. Let's see what's happening. Okay, there you go. Hello, people on Facebook. Facebook people, there they are. Levin Miller, you've done a great job the past 2 days without your, what does it say? Without your twin. She look like a Chinese. We can't be twins. What else does it say? Way to go, Tommy. Proud Bahamian. Thank you, Howard. Nova, I want Tommy tell the rest of us which hotel this is. We don't got time to play around. We don't got time to play. And right there in Miami, just tell us where it on 103rd. Because I know that one on 103rd. If you tell us, we can fix them good. All right. They must see don't know Bahamians. Tommy, don't go back. I agree with that. Tommy, don't go back there. The people say, we can give you another room night. Yeah, we ain't rob you good enough the first time. We got some towel and some sheet we gonna charge you for the next time. Yeah, I don't know where y'all thought y'all was. Tommy, you don't fool with that. Good day, Mr. Miller. Y'all only chat when Sonny here. Sure, maybe I should chat with the great Gazoo. Who should I talk to? Who would you like me to talk to? It's just me one here. Would you like to talk to me, Alexia Major? Alexia say, it look like we don't chat when Sonny in here. But who should I talk to? It's just me. It's me and Jesus in here. Oh, boy. This one says, nice jacket. Yeah. You should see the man in it. He's serious now. Lost him under the jail. Oh, you mean the Jacking Up boy? Yeah, I want them to speed him to the calaboose. I don't want them to like stop to the lights or anything. Blare the siren and carry him there fast. Kamish, you put him in the back, in the little box part with the double gate. That look good on him. 323-777-56980-775. Oh, hey caller, what's up?
Hello.
Hey.
This Levon?
Present.
Yeah, what are you calling about, right? Could you see if you could find out why the electricity bill and the water bill is not coming out in time? And it is frustrating people because, guess what, Mr. Miller?
Mm-hmm.
My bills, I don't owe nothing on my light bill, and the last time I had to estimate to put something there, now I have a balance. And it's frustrating me because I'm on pension, and I don't want overpay, and I don't want underpay.
Right.
Because guess what, when I overpay, and I have my little change to buy my little bread or my little stuff, they ain't giving me the money. They tell me, but they credit into the next bill. It's ridiculous, man, what they doing now. Last June light bill came out in July. Now it's July, almost August. So what are they doing?
Well, if they ain't putting out the light bill in time, somebody just told me on Monday of this week they disconnecting. So how they disconnecting if they ain't putting out the bill?
This is what I'm saying. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, you try to calculate your money and things like that, and then you go there, you might pay enough. Then you look, you overpay. But right now, I never owe no bills on my light bill, and now I have a balance.
Right. Well, boy, I don't. So you saying you pay too much and now you have credit? That's what you have, not a balance. You have credit, is what you say.
No, I have no credit. I have a balance.
You have a balance.
I didn't know what to pay.
You didn't know what to pay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, we gotta fix that.
Yeah, man. I think that first thing, Mr. Levon, they're gonna blame the government. The government give the people having the job, and these people who are in management, they need to do their job.
I completely agree with you. Now I know you said that you're a pensioner. But how do you get your bills? Do you wait on them through the mail or you have some sort of...
By Gmail.
By Gmail, right. That's how I get mine.
And I speak calling, Mr. Levon. I just speak calling. I only must be the only person must be calling to pay bills when they got to go and force people to come and pay their bills.
Well, let me give you the name of the woman who does email me because she's emailed on Sunday. She named Latrell R. Roll. So when you...
Latrell R. Roll.
Yeah, that's who she's emailed me on Sunday. I didn't know BEC want money that bad. But you figure out from Latrell R. Roll what's going on, and they should be able to get you sorted out with why your bill coming a little late. So when you call BEC, you tell them, put me on the phone with Latrell R. Roll.
I can write that right now, Latrell R. Roll.
Yeah, and you say, Latrell, I don't care who all bill you don't send. Send mine. And see if Latrell can't fix that for you, eh?
Oh, she has a number, or I just ask her?
No, let me see. I getting this off her email address, but since her email address public, I might as well just do it, eh?
Okay.
I can tell you right now. Hold on. You just wait on. No, she working in the call center. But her email address is LRRoll.
Huh?
She don't have no number yet, but her email address is LRRoll.
LRRoll.
At BPLCO.
At
BP. No. Bravo, Papa, Lima, BPL. C as in Charlie. O as in Oscar. .com.
I know them things. I know them times.
Yeah, and you make sure you tell Latrell, man, don't play with you. Send your bill.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because you're
a
woman that retire.
Some people don't even want to pay bills.
Yeah.
You know, it's frustrating.
I with you, Mama. And you're a woman who done retire, so you don't need nobody, heating
You
you
know,
up like
then
that.
when you do that, when you leave balance, when the next one come, then if you don't know what the next one fall, and then you just keep adding bill on bill and bill when they will come and disconnect you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Levon.
No problem. Like I feel like Latrell could get you a little sorted after this.
Yeah, Latrell our rule. Okay.
Yeah. And you
Thank
message
so
her. And you message her. 323-777-698-0775. I see the Gombe Summer Festival. It's happening tonight? It's tonight? Yeah, it's happening tonight. So if you don't have nothing to do, and you want to go shake up and wind up and move your body line, you could go to the Gombe Summer Festival, where it look like they have everybody there. Nishi Ellis is there. I see Shine 242, who I see is causing a bit of a ruckus on social. Shine! The people that don't have no song, all right? And if they have to come out and sing Jesus loved the little children, all the children of the world, you let them sing that. That's Jesus' song, all right? And that's the only one they know. So let them sing the one shake-up song, and then Jesus loved the little children immediately after. But come January, you make sure you carry all of them down there by that little studio you got with the red light, with the red fancy light, and you don't let them leave till the light them burn up, writing new song. But for right now, we in the middle of regatta, this big regatta time. I done got all my regatta clothes. You don't start this now. You could start this November, December. All right? Because I can't let you mess up regatta time. And I'm going to be right there happy to sing Jesus Love the Little Children to a little shake-up beat in the background. All right? Thank you very much. But apparently at Gombe Summer tonight, Nishi Ellis will be there, Shine 242 will be there, KB will be there. Well, I must see me and some woman with the biggest box in the world you could ever saw might be there. And then, of course, I think this is Fanchon. I see Rika C. And who else is here? They have, oh boy, Iron Store and Ilsha. I think that's everybody. Man, you just be there. You go. You don't worry about who all there. You go and make sure you carry, your package with you when you go. All right. 323-777-569-8-0775. Let me check back in on these people on WhatsApp, on YouTube, because I don't want them to say that I wasn't checking it. Oh, this say, all right, Alexa, I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Alexa, I misencated you. I didn't mean to do that. Alexa said she wasn't talking to me. She was talking to the people in the chat. You all look like you all don't talk to one another. Because Sani and Ye. Listen, if Sani and Ye, you all can still talk to one another and you all as cousins now. What's wrong with you all? Come on. Start talking to each other. All right? Oh, boy. Sorry, Alexa. I thought you was cussing me out. And I just like to make sure I beat you to the punch. I don't like to let people cuss me out without cussing them out back. Let me go over here by the people on Facebook. What do I got? The people on Facebook say, what's happening? There they are, the people on Facebook. Okie dokie. Levon, tell the lady to hook up BPL apps. It's called My BPL and Pay. Oh, no. I want her to email LR Roll. Because LR Roll has emailed me on Sunday. I don't know what BPL paying her. So since she likes to wake so much, she's the most wakingest person they got in that building, it appears. You send her your email, because she to send email. All right? You don't give her the app. Mother just tell you she on pension. You think mother have any app? But app. You just talk like young people. Tell her hook up the app with your young self. You probably is a woman even in 40 yet. About app. Anyway, who else is in here? If you know what your bill usually is, leave that amount. Boy, Nova, don't take that kind of chance. Don't take that kind of chance. I had one bill that I usually pay $100 on every month. Well, goodness and mercy, I didn't know the thing started leaking apparently, because I wasn't monitoring it. And I go on and go pay the bill. The woman tell me $900. They almost had to call the ambulance with the oxygen for me because they almost had to scrape me off the ground in BPL. But go check the thing you're paying the light for to make sure they ain't leaking. And if it ain't leaking, then you can put the same amount of money, because the thing should burn about the same amount of light every month. I agree with that. Who else is this? This one here says, What does it say? Where did the comments go? I don't know. I can't find the rest. I'm trying. No. Okay, let's go back to 323-777-56980-775. You could call me. We could talk. And again, the two tomorrow that will be funeralized in Kid Island. I think we are beginning to turn the page or turn the corner on the tragedy. And the funerals have begun. I also note that I see the photos of some of the people believed to be in the plane crash also making their way to the death notice. I suspect that must mean that you were able to positively identify them. I don't know what the procedure is there. If there has to be like DNA sampling, I don't know. But I guess if the families feel comfortable enough, they can issue a death notice. But I did see death notices popping up in the newspaper now for some of the people believed to be on that flight, on the ill-fated Independence Day flight. And so our thoughts and prayers are still with those people. But again, closure is beginning to occur for the car crash victims. And Diamond and Stanley have been flown back to Kid Island to go to their final resting place that was, for all intents and purposes, a community effort by the men of the community of Kid Island. I mean, and they come together so tremendously. My friend, let me tell you how you know a fella is your friend. You see, because my friends understand something. My body is not built for shoveling sand off of a truck. All right? My body can't do them kind of things. I could do things like go for the bear. I could do things like cordon off the area. I could do things like drive the truck. Oh, nobody can be driving. I will drive this truck from here to forevermore be for you. But when we get to the shoveling the sand off the truck part, man, dying to piece for me. I also ain't the kind of friend you call when you need to dig a hole. Like, I ain't a hole. Like, if you are gauging our friendship by my willingness to help you dig a hole, boy, I want to give me another test. Don't test me with that one. But believe it or not, the men of Kid Island, they showed up in an unbelievable fashion, in my view, to support the fallen. Put the mausoleum back up, and they built this thing from scratch. This was literally just earth, and they dug the hole to make sure that it was properly grounded. They put in the steel, and then they mixed the cement. They mixed the cement and spread it by hand. These fellas, man, what a tremendous show of community support. And so tomorrow, we will begin the journey towards the end. And Diamond is that Diana Winstonique Stubbs, of course, is going to be funeralized tomorrow along with Stanley Webb, who is also set to be funeralized tomorrow. And I want to say a big shout out to Pastor Denzel Roll for his involvement up to this point. I think he has certainly proven what the job of a pastor should be, and that is to pastor people, particularly in times like these where people are looking for answers and people have so many questions and people have so many, so much anxiety surrounding, etc., etc. And so, I don't know. I want to commend him. I think he took the task seriously, and he allowed the families some avenues with which they could spend their grief responsibly, so that they weren't just all given to grief and consumed by vices. I think he permitted or created the avenue, rather, to provide the kind of outlet that could be considered healthy, so people could get together, feel the spirit and the sense of community. Maslow refers to it as the desire to belong. And I think that in times like these, those things matter. And so, Bishop, wherever you are with your family, I want to say that I think you've done God's work in that regard. Anyway, it's Friday. You know what that means? I want you all to prepare yourselves now to do the things you love to do the most. And I want you to do so much of it that you cannot believe that they allow you to do this much. Why? Because in the words of my daddy, you might as well do it as much as you like, because they don't ever let you do it for as long as you like. And so as you go into your places, you know, the places that you go to water, I want you to go into those places and to pour the first 6 drinks on the counter so that they know you're serious about being there. Because it's Friday. And if it's Friday, then that means the boys got paid and the girls are outside looking pretty. And I assure you, they will not look that way forever. So enjoy as many of them as you like. Because none of us ever get out of here until we dead. And so as you go sauntering and sashaying, and as you go frolicking, and as you go in your places to practice and engage in rampant hooliganism, I want you to hooliganize with all your might. I want you to make sure that you have yourselves what the Flintstones would ordinarily refer to as a yabba dabba do time all weekend. But in all of your doing, make sure that none of your decisions add to or take away from this population this weekend. Do everything in your power not to kill anybody, but more important than that, you make sure nobody don't kill you. And if you do that, I'll see you back here on Monday.
Vibes is resilience in motion. So even when things go out of sync, we do what it takes to bring the vibes back. At BTC, we understand your vibes because we live it. That's why we are dedicated to building